Welcome, future IAS officers. Today, we are taking the fertile soil of UPSC syllabus and sowing it with MSP, PDS, buffer stocks, irrigation schemes, and subsidies, all cultivated with zero pesticide of boring lectures. By the end, your answers will yield such a bumper crop of marks that even the UPSC examiner will give you minimum support price. Before we start serving today, hit that subscribe button right now to join the channel or to join our family so your UPSC preparation never runs out of fresh supply. So let's get started, folks. The minimum price or minimum support price, the hero of our grand agricultural epic, a character so noble, so righteous, it practically has its own triumphant theme music. This is the government's answer to a classic Phil predicament, the sharp fall in farm prices, a villain as menacing and unpredictable as a rogue meteor. The government, in a moment of cinematic flair, swaps in the MSP, a market intervention designed scheme to protect the brave agricultural products. Market intervention by the government to protect agricultural products from this dramatic downturn. The hero's mission statement is as bold as any blockbuster movie poster. The objectives are farmer income stabilization. The hero's primary quest is to make sure the good guys get the fair wage and don't end up living in a montage of hardship. Next comes the food security, the grander national level goal of ensuring everyone has enough to eat, a task that rivals any global superhero team. Influencing cropping patterns, a subtle superpower like a Jedi mind trick on crops, like to guide farmers towards planting what the nation truly needs. Preventing exploitation, a direct face off against the shadow nefarious forces that would dare to take advantage of our humble producers by preventing exploitation. But a hero, but what is a hero without its flaws? This noble strategy has its very own set of dramatic plot twists, which, much like movies critics are meticulously listed. Limited geographical reach and crop coverage. Our hero tragically cannot be everywhere at once, leaving many farmer and many crops to fend for themselves. It's the classic sequel setup where the hero scope is just too little small for the grand problem. Skewed cropping patterns. A well intentioned plan that inadvertently causes an imbalance, like a time travel movie where a small change in the past creates a completely different and slightly less than ideal present. Like it's like cropping patterns is very variable. Like you just put in some random crops and put to grow, which disturbs the regular cropping pattern. Oh, sorry. Fiscal burden. This is the expensive costume and CGI budget are a bit much. Like it puts strain on central government's coffers, and market distortion. Like it has the unfortunate side effect of warping over the very fabric of the market itself. So, like it disturbs the entire market through its product. So that is what minimum support price does. Hope you guys understood it. Let's now go into the public distribution system. This is the government's multi-act play on the grand stage of social welfare. This is not just a system, It's a meticulously choreographed ballet of bureaucracy and benevolence with a cast of millions and a plot that there's a perfect blend of high drama and unintentional comedy. See, the public distribution system is the crucial component of India's food security policy. The government sponsored chain of fair price shops to distribute the essential commodities like wheat, rice, sugar, kerosene, all at subsidies prices to a larger section of the population. The noble objectives of the epic is to ensure food security to the masses, stabilize the prices like a seasoned stockbroker, and calming a volatile market to support farmers as the loyal sidekick and to achieve the grand tear-jerking finale of social welfare. Like the audience must be on the edge of its seat here, right? They must be rooting for this ambitious, multifaceted hero so that he could survive. That's the thing. This plot unfolds in a thrilling three-tier system, classic relay race for social good. The central government, this is the tireless stoic workhorse of the film. Like their job is simple yet monumental. Procure like procure food grains with the precision of military operation, store them in a vast cavernous warehouses, and then transport them across the country. That's what they do. Along with that, um, like also transport from the surplus status to deficit state. Like they are the silent protagonists, the ones who make sure the goods get to the right places no matter the logistical challenge. State governments, our middle managers, the ones caught in the frantic, often hilarious second act. Their task is to receive the food grains from the central government and are then faced with the Herculean task of identifying beneficiaries and issuing ration cards. One can imagine the comical scene of a junior officer armed with a clipboard and a magnifying glass trying to decide who qualifies. It's a comedy of errors waiting to happen. They also oversee the final scene, the fair price shops, with the nervous energy of a director on opening night. That's what they do. Next one is fair price shops. This is the climax, the last mile touch point, where the beneficiaries, armed with all important valid ration cards, get to finally purchase their subsidized essential. It's a scene of both triumph and, as we'll see, some tragedies as well. But as with any great story, this also has some plots and villains. The challenges, leakages and diversions, a mysterious, almost paranormal phenomenon we can call it, where food grains like ghosts in a haunted mansion simply disappear from the supply chain. It's a grand heist subplot that for some reason never seems to be fully resolved. So hope you can understand. It's diverted and it's all of a sudden missing, which cannot be resolved or found. Next one is targeting errors, the classic bureaucratic blunder. Imagine the sheer theatricality of a millionaire mistakenly receiving a sack of rice meant for a family in need. See, that absurdity is unmatched. Why is a millionaire going to need a bag of rice when there are a lot of people in need? That is targeting errors. Nutritional imbalance, the bittersweet test. While the system provides essential commodities, it can inadvertently lead to a diet of just wheat, rice, and sugar, which is a tragedy of nutrition. It's a roller coaster of a performance, an ambitious work that is a masterpiece of intention, even if its execution sometimes feels like a slapstick comedy. True epic indeed. Now we look into the buffer stock and food security. This is where our cinematic saga reaches its peak drama, moving from a charming rom-com about farming to a high-stakes spy thriller. Like, think of it as the government's highly classified super secret vault of food grains, a strategic reserve, a strategic reserve meticulously maintained to ensure the nation doesn't fall into a state of cinematic chaos. This isn't just a pantry, it's the nation's nuclear deterrent against hunger. A strategic hoard of wheat and rice, like the gold in Fort Knox, but with much more delicious and life sustaining purpose. Its core objectives are as grand as the fate of the free world. Food security. The ultimate mission here is to ensure that in the world of unpredictability, every citizen has access to the most basic of needs. A promise as ironclad as a hero's vow. Emergency response. This is when the alarm bell rings in the event of natural disaster, a bad monsoon, or sudden unexpected shortage. The buffer stock is deployed with the precision of special forces unit to avoid the catastrophe. Strategic reserves. The long game. This isn't just about current crisis. It's about meticulously long-term planning, ensuring the nation has enough in the tank to keep the prices stable and populace calm. Like a brilliant chess player planning 10 moves ahead. And of course, no grand plan can be complete without its detailed blueprints and operational procedures. National Food Security Act, the master plan, the overarching protocol that dictates how this entire operation is run, like a legally binding script for the food security in India. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana PMGKAY, the emergency red button. This scheme represents the rapid large scale deployment of reserves during a major crisis, like a heroic feat of distribution that saved the day during a global pandemic. Open market scale scheme, the subtle, almost invisible hand of the market. This is the government quietly releasing food grains into the market gently and not dramatically, lower prices without anyone noticing the master plan at work. Price stabilization fund, and finally the budget, a secret war chest of funds to make sure the entire operation is financially sound, because even heroes need to pay for their gadgets and logistics. And now the most heart wrenching and beautifully shot, the Walter saga. This is the irrigation scene of a dramatic montage of hope, despair, and high tech solutions. Like the scene opens with a mock serious voiceover, setting the stage, a land of diverse agroclimatic zones, where the sky's benevolence is measured in rains. Monsoon rains. One hero stands tall, the artificial application of water to land. It's a fundamental plot point which is critical for ensuring agricultural productivity and, as always, national food security. We then see the various stars of the show, or we can call it different types of irrigation, whether the classic old school lead uh, surface irrigation, the reliable character actor canal irrigation, tank irrigation, the hard-working well and tube well irrigation, and finally the futuristic high-tech duo, the micro drip micro drip and sprinkle irrigation are the most recent ones to reduce the water, to conserve water in farming. But in any drama, there are villains. The challenges of the irrigation are the antagonists of our story. Like we have a sneaky resource hoarding villain, water scarcity and over exploitation. Then there is two-faced foe, water logging and salinity, a tragedy where too much water turns the land into a salty wasteland, as if the soil itself is crying. And finally, the ultimate bureaucratic monster, the big boss of inefficiency. Inefficient structure and low water use efficiency. Just all, just when all seems lost, the government's special ops team of superheroes burst onto the screen, like with Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Atul Bhujal Yojana, and Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Like these are very important schemes for irrigation, which brings in or which tackles both fickle nature of both water and bureaucracy. Next comes the farm subsidies. This is the government's grand, heartwarming and slightly theatrical gesture, a financial assist provided to farmers and agri-businesses to support their income, manage supply of agricultural commodities and influence the production cost. The subsidies come in two main forms, a classic good cop, bad cop, or rather a direct star and a supporting cast. Direct subsidies. There are big show-stopping scenes with all the pomp and circumstances. Think of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, a scheme where money is heroically deposited straight into the farmer's account. It's the grand prize at the long end of long hard-fought battle. As a struggle, you can practically hear the uplifting music as the notification lands. But still, state level, few states such as Andhra Pradesh supports farmers with their own scheme or with transfer of their direct benefit transfer as well to their accounts. So this is something a state level's income support. Indirect subsidies. These are the unsung heroes, the quiet, subtle magic happening backstage. Like the fertilizer, power, irrigation subsidies all together. Like you may not see them directly, but without their crucial work, the entire agriculture would fall apart. Like it's like a director whispering a brilliant idea, the cinematographer getting the perfect lighting, all without ever stepping into the spotlight. If this lecture irrigated your mind with concepts, sowed the seeds of clarity and removed weeds of confusion, do your MSP, which is maximum support to presenter. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your UPSC farmer friends. And if you are already subscribed at the start, congratulations, you have practiced crop rotation of support. Thank you for watching. Now go reap those UPSC marks.